The Vietnam War changed the way strategic bombing was used forever. Faced with guerrilla warfare, dense jungle canopy, and surface-to-air missiles, the U.S. military relied heavily on bombers for interdiction, close air support, and strategic strikes. This video documents every single bomber aircraft used by American forces during the conflict. Let's begin with the strategic heavy bombers. Boeing B-52 Stratofortress. The backbone of America's strategic bombing campaign, this machine served as the primary long-range heavy bomber for the U.S. Air Force. It featured 8 turbofan engines and could carry up to 70,000 pounds of ordnance, allowing it to deliver devastating carpet bombing runs from altitudes above 50,000 feet. While vulnerable to surface-to-air missiles during Operation Linebacker II, it provided unmatched payload capacity and became synonymous with arc-light strikes that shook the jungle for miles. Next on the list are the tactical medium bombers. Unlike the strategic heavy bombers, these machines were designed specifically for precision strikes and close air support in contested airspace. Douglas B-26 Invader. A Korean War veteran pressed back into service, this machine served as a night interdiction bomber for the U.S. Air Force during the early years. It featured a twin-engine design and up to 14 forward-firing 50-caliber machine guns, which allowed it to strafe and bomb enemy supply routes along the Ho Chi Minh Trail. While outdated by 1960 standards, it provided reliable low-altitude strike capability and proved the need for specialized night attack aircraft. Martin B-57 Canberra. The American license-built version of the British Canberra, this machine served as a tactical bomber and reconnaissance platform for the U.S. Air Force. It featured high-altitude capability and twin turbojet engines, allowing it to conduct both day and night bombing missions with precision. While limited in payload compared to heavy bombers, it provided excellent maneuverability and became crucial during the early Rolling Thunder operations. General Dynamics F-111 Aardvark. The world's first production variable sweep-wing aircraft, this machine served as a long-range tactical bomber for the U.S. Air Force from 1968 onward. It featured terrain-following radar and swing wings that allowed it to penetrate enemy airspace at supersonic speeds in all weather conditions. While plagued by early losses and mechanical issues, it provided unprecedented precision bombing capability and revolutionized the concept of the tactical bomber. Next on the list are the light attack bombers. Unlike the tactical medium bombers, these machines were designed specifically for close air support and counterinsurgency operations at low altitude. Douglas A-1 Skyraider. Known as the SPAD, this propeller-driven attack aircraft served as the primary close air support bomber for both the U.S. Air Force and Navy. It featured a massive radial engine and could carry up to 8,000 pounds of ordnance on 15 hardpoints, allowing it to loiter for hours over the battlefield. While slow and vulnerable to anti-aircraft fire, it provided pinpoint accuracy and incredible durability, earning legendary status among ground troops and rescue missions. Douglas A-4 Skyhawk. Nicknamed Heinemann's Hot Rod, this machine served as the compact carrier-based light bomber for the U.S. Navy and Marines. It featured a small, lightweight delta-wing design that allowed it to deliver precision strikes from aircraft carriers in the Gulf of Tonkin. While limited in range compared to larger aircraft, it provided exceptional agility and bomb-carrying capacity for its size, becoming one of the most effective naval attack platforms of the war. LTV A-7 Corsair II. The successor to the A-4 Skyhawk, this machine served as the primary carrier-based attack bomber for the U.S. Navy from 1967 onward. It featured a subsonic turbofan engine and advanced navigation systems, which allowed it to deliver ordnance with unprecedented accuracy in all weather. While not supersonic like fighters, it provided superior payload capacity and reliability, quickly earning the nickname Slough, short little ugly fella. Cessna A-37 Dragonfly. Called the Super Tweet, this machine served as a light counterinsurgency bomber for the U.S. Air Force and South Vietnamese Air Force. It featured twin turbojets mounted on a trainer airframe, allowing it to operate from short, rough airstrips near the front lines. While lightly armored and vulnerable to ground fire, it provided cost-effective close air support and became ideal for training South Vietnamese pilots in combat operations. Next on the list are the strategic fighter bombers. Unlike the light attack bombers, these machines were designed specifically for long-range interdiction and precision strikes against hardened targets. Republic F-105 Thunderchief. Nicknamed the Thud, this machine became the workhorse of Rolling Thunder operations against North Vietnamese targets. It featured a massive internal bomb bay and afterburning turbojet capable of supersonic speeds at low altitude, allowing it to penetrate heavily defended airspace with iron bombs and missiles, while suffering the highest loss rate of any American aircraft in Vietnam. It provided the backbone of the air campaign and flew more missions over North Vietnam than any other type. McDonnell Douglas F-4 Phantom II. The most versatile combat aircraft of the war, this machine served as both fighter and bomber for the U.S. Air Force, Navy, and Marines. It featured twin turbojets and could carry up to 18,000 pounds of bombs, rockets, and missiles, allowing it to perform air superiority, close air support, and strategic bombing missions. While initially designed without an internal gun, it provided unmatched speed and payload flexibility, becoming the most produced American supersonic aircraft in history. Grumman A-6 Intruder. Known as the Sunday Puncher, this machine served as the all-weather carrier-based bomber for the U.S. Navy and Marines. It featured an advanced integrated attack navigation system and side-by-side seating for the pilot and bombardier navigator, which allowed it to conduct precision strikes in total darkness and heavy weather. While subsonic and lacking defensive armament, it provided unparalleled bombing accuracy and became the Navy's most effective deep strike platform against North Vietnamese infrastructure. North American F-100 Super Sabre. America's first operational supersonic fighter, this machine transitioned into a fighter-bomber role during Vietnam, serving with the U.S. Air Force. It featured an afterburning turbojet and could carry bombs, rockets, and napalm canisters, allowing it to provide rapid close-air support for ground forces. While outclassed by newer designs in air-to-air combat, it provided effective ground attack capability and logged more combat hours than any other Century Series fighter in Southeast Asia. Vought F-8 Crusader. Nicknamed the Last Gunfighter, this machine primarily served as a Navy fighter but also conducted bombing missions from aircraft carriers. It featured a unique variable incidence wing and 4 20mm cannons, which allowed it to combine dogfighting prowess with ground attack capability. While primarily remembered for air-to-air victories, it provided flexible strike options and proved the value of built-in guns during close air support missions. Next on the list are the specialized attack aircraft. Unlike the strategic fighter bombers, these machines were designed specifically for unique roles including gunship operations and electronic warfare. Douglas AC-47 Spooky. The first fixed-wing gunship of the war, this machine served as a converted transport armed with side-firing miniguns for the U.S. Air Force. It featured 3 7.62mm miniguns capable of firing 6,000 rounds per minute, allowing it to saturate enemy positions while circling overhead. While vulnerable to ground fire and limited to nighttime operations, it provided devastating suppressive fire and pioneered the gunship concept that would define close air support tactics. Fairchild AC-119 Shadow and Stinger. Nicknamed Shadow and Stinger variants, these machines served as medium gunships for the U.S. Air Force, bridging the gap between the AC-47 and AC-130. They featured multiple miniguns and 20mm cannons mounted on a twin-engine cargo airframe, allowing them to provide heavier firepower than their predecessor. While slower than purpose-built attack aircraft, they provided critical nighttime fire support and armed reconnaissance along infiltration routes. Lockheed AC-130 Spectre. The most heavily armed aircraft in the world, this machine served as the ultimate gunship for the U.S. Air Force from 1968 onward. It featured an array of weapons, including 20mm Vulcan cannons, 40mm Bofors guns, and a 105mm howitzer, all mounted on the port side, allowing it to orbit a target and deliver pinpoint fire for hours. While operating exclusively at night to avoid ground fire, it provided unmatched firepower and became legendary for its ability to decimate enemy positions with surgical precision. Douglas EB-66 Destroyer. A tactical bomber converted for electronic warfare, this machine served as the primary radar jamming platform for the U.S. Air Force. It featured sophisticated electronic countermeasures equipment that allowed it to blind North Vietnamese surface-to-air missile sites and protect strike packages heading into heavily defended areas. While unarmed and dependent on fighter escorts, it provided critical electronic protection and significantly reduced bomber losses during missions over North Vietnam. Grumman EA-6B Prowler, the Navy's dedicated electronic warfare platform. This machine served as a modified version of the A-6 Intruder, equipped with jamming pods. It featured 4 crew members and powerful electronic countermeasure systems, allowing it to suppress enemy radar and air defenses for carrier-based strike packages. While entering service late in the war, It provided essential electronic warfare support and laid the groundwork for modern suppression of enemy air defenses tactics.